name is Tori and I'm a Winnie the Pooh collector from the UK, and we have got a lot of pin mail to open today. I have also got another parcel on the way. I was hoping it would be here in time for me to film this video, but I don't think it's going to be here for like another 2 days, maybe tomorrow. But as soon as that's here, I will unbox it in the same video as well, because it's all Winnie the Pooh pins, so you might as well. So in here we have got 3 pins from the Disney store. These released last Tuesday for me. Can't remember what the date was, but it was a surprise pin drop, so I wasn't ready for it. Pins usually drop at 8 AM. I woke up at like 8:15. I check the Disney store every morning just in case there's new stuff for me to share with you guys. And I saw the pins, quickly added them to my basket, and then I realised that there was some I missed out on. But my friend Lizzie was going to London the next day on the Wednesday, and she was going to pop into the Disney store, so she said if they had any of the pins I needed, she'd pick them up for me. So she was able to get me another 2 that I needed. And then 2 days later, on the Friday, there was another pin drop. This was also the pin drop with the monthly Winnie the Pooh series. This month is Piglet, and I will explain more of that in the next part of this unboxing, so later in this video. We got 2 pins in that drop as well, so we've got 7 pins to open up in this video altogether. We've currently got 5, the other 2 are on their way. So I think without further ado, let's open up some pins. I also find it really funny that just a few videos ago we did the whole reorganizing my pin board to fit on some new pins, and now we have 7 more to fit on. Yeah, we can do it. We can do it. Do I need scissors or can I just rip into it? I also am quite grateful for Disney for putting these pins into a padded envelope. Last time I got a pin from the Disney store, I ordered just 1 pin. That was all I ordered. And in case you haven't seen it, I put it as a shorts video. 1 pin in 1 box. It was that was like all the comments. I posted it obviously on Instagram, TikTok, all the places. Everyone was just talking about the size of the box. This is much better, Disney. I can't actually remember. I know what's coming in the parcel that's still to come. I know what's in these ones, I just can't remember which one's in which. Right, so that's my order confirmation slip. It's literally a bit of a blind bag. Let's reach in and just pull something out. What's the first one we've got? Oh, off the top of my head, I do think all of these were about £16 each, which is standard for Disney pins. So here is the first one. It is Pooh Bear. He's got the stitching popping open on his bum, and it says "Oh bother," and I don't know if you can see, but the sky is like quite glittery. That is so cute. And it is also a double backer pin. These weren't released in celebration of any of the anniversaries or anything like that, as you can see, because it is just a standard backing board. It was just a very nice surprise pin release. Back in we go. Oh, I was very excited I was able to get this one. It's Rabbit. You know how much I always like to see Rabbit in my collection because he is just so rare to come across. And if you remember the haul I did from Selfridges at Oxford Street a few videos ago, I did manage to get a Rabbit pin for the anniversary of the honey tree. This one is the same as the last one. Nothing special for any of the anniversaries, just a nice pin release. So it's also kind of a bit of a 3D pin element there, if you can see. So you've got the background, which is just a bit of sky and clouds with a carrot border. You've then got Rabbit, which is like a 3D element to the back of the pin, pushing Piglet in a wheelbarrow full of carrots. And there's really not that much size difference between these two. This one's a double backer, as I said. This one is just a single. I can never work out what Disney does for it to be a double backer and a single backer, because I'd have thought that one could have been a single, but I don't know. I don't know Disney's thought process behind this. And then the final pin in this bag is another Pooh pin. We've got Pooh Bear laying on top of a cloud that says "honey on my mind." It's kind of like he's daydreaming. He's got some honey resting on his tummy. You've also got like a little bee on the writing there. That is so cute. And that is a double backer as well. They seem to like to do double backers, which I guess it does make it more sturdy on your board. So those are the 3 I got from the surprise pin release on Shop Disney. And as I said, there was some that I missed out on, but my friend Lizzie went to the Disney store the next day and said if she could get any for me, she would. So she managed to pick me up 2 more. I think I will need scissors for this. And also, I just need to say, a bit funny with this one I ordered from Disney store. When I was filling out my information for delivery, I was like on some sort of automatic pilot. I wasn't thinking and I entered in my maiden name, and obviously I get all my parcels shipped to a pickup point, which is my co-op, and to collect your parcels you have to show your ID. And it's come in my maiden name. Luckily I still have my old passport. Yes, the corners are cut off, you know, so I can't actually use it, but I could use it to prove who I was. But I was like, I couldn't believe I'd done that. I think it might have been the case of I hadn't updated my... Oh, one just fell out. I hadn't updated my information on the Disney store because I'd logged in, and sometimes when I'm in a rush for pin releases I don't always log in, or if it's on a morning where my mum is helping me with a release, she'll log in. So I just don't think I'd updated my information since I got married, and it didn't even cross my mind until it came across in my confirmation email, and I was like, oh no. Luckily I had my old passport that I could use for ID, but instantly after I realised that, I did go and change it, so that won't happen again. And these are the 2 pins that Lizzie got for me in Oxford Street Disney. These were the ones I missed because I overslept. So first up we have got, how cute is this? We have got Tigger and Roo just kind of sat around. Roo is just sat on a tree log with Tigger lying in front of it, and they're just kind of looking up at a butterfly, and I think the sky is kind of the same glittery as the first Pooh Bear we looked at. And this is a single backer pin and it's £14. I thought these ones were 16, maybe they were 14. I can't remember. Maybe these were £14. I'll have to double check on my confirmation email. But it's all standard pricings for pins. So that's the first one Lizzie picked up for me. And what I'm loving about this pin opening we're doing here, we've got a good selection of all the characters. So we've got 2 of Pooh Bear, Tigger and Roo, and then Rabbit and Piglet. And now we have one of Eeyore. So we've really done a good covering of the whole gang here today. Just missing out on like Kanga and Owl, but I think we've done a good job here. So here is the last one Lizzie picked up for me. It's Eeyore sleeping in his house, and I absolutely love all the little flowers around it. That is so cute, and that is £14 as well. So these are the 5 pins that got released on the Tuesday surprise drop. And Disney Store always seems to have more stock than online, so if you do ever miss out on a drop online and you are able to get to the Disney Store within the next couple of days, you are usually quite safe because I've had a successful drop. And obviously still to come, we have got a special Pancake Day pin, which was such a surprise. Absolutely love Pancake Day. I'm actually filming this on Pancake Day, so it's quite disappointing that that pin won't arrive in time for Pancake Day, but I'm very excited about that. And then also, as I said, the monthly release of this year, they're doing a Winnie the Pooh collection. I did get the pin this month. Last month I got the plush. I'll explain all of that when we're opening them up, but I think for now let's pop these on the pin board, and then when I come back we will have our next lot of pins to open. Hello from the future. It is now Friday. I last saw you on Tuesday, and you'll never guess when my parcel arrived at the co-op for me to pick up. Tuesday evening. I was filming it Tuesday morning. My last parcel I needed arrived at the co-op Tuesday evening. I didn't even see the email until Wednesday afternoon, so that's when I went and collected it. So although I've had it a couple of days now, this has just been my first opportunity to come and sit down and open it with you guys. So let's finish off this pin unboxing. It's so annoying that I was filming Tuesday morning and it came Tuesday afternoon. I could have done this all in one video, but I mean, it is still all in one video for you. It's just more editing for me. But anyway, we have got 2 more pins in here, and then that is our pin haul over for now. It's 2026, it's the year of Winnie the Pooh. Of course we're gonna have more pins. Right, so let's open it up. As you'd have seen in the last clip, My pin board is very much filling up. These ones are going to fill it up even more. Oh no, this one's upside down in its packaging. Let me just spin it around before I show you. That's so funny. All right, I'm going to show you. One needs more talking about, so I'll show you this one first because this was a complete surprise. I mean, as I said, these both came from surprise drops. I check the Disney store every morning just in case there's anything new come on, and as you know, if you follow me on TikTok, when there is new Winnie the Pooh items, I always let you guys know on there. So I think that is a good job. I do check every day, because they usually put things on at 6 AM and then if it's like for a launch it then goes live at 8 AM, so I usually check about twice in the mornings. If I hadn't have done that, I'd have missed these, so I'm very grateful for myself for doing that. First one, which we had no prior warning about, is the Pancake Day pin. Tuesday, obviously 3 days ago when I was filming the first part of that, was Pancake Day, so I was quite upset that this didn't arrive in time because I'd have loved to do a post about it. I still will do a post about it because I love pancakes, but I absolutely love that they released this. How cool is it? So it says celebrate Pancake Day 2006, and then Pooh Bear is on, oh, it matches my nails. Pooh Bear's on like an orange gingham blanket with a big stack of pancakes. I'm assuming he's got like a honey syrup running down it, and then just a beautiful cloudy sky. You know I love when they get creative with their backing boards, and how cool is this one? It's a stack of pancakes dripping honey up the top. Absolutely love it. Off the top of my head, I think this was like £16. Pretty much a standard pin price on the Disney store. Oh, it's got like blueberries and strawberries on it. And it is, I don't know how well you could see, it is like a 3D pin, so it's like a pin on pin element, as they do say. So it has got like a 3D to it. So it looks like Pooh Bear is, you know, sat up on his picnic blanket. I'm so happy I was able to get my hands on this because it was limited edition and it did sell out by the end of the day, as you know with Disney store pin releases. And I've already been seeing it on Vinted the past couple of days. For I think the cheapest I've seen it on Vinted is £25. Averaging about £30 on Vinted, which is just ridiculous. So I was very happy I was able to get my hands on this. We'll put that on the pin board in a minute. And now onto the last pin, the one that I said needs a little bit more talking about. So if you hadn't seen my video from January about the Winnie the Pooh monthly series Disney Store is doing, I'll leave it linked up above for you. It's a bit of a confusing concept for a monthly series because they're advertising it as a monthly series, they're calling it a monthly series, but they've only got 6 character posters for it. They've got Kanga and Roo as 1, because otherwise that would have been 7, but they've cast them as 1. And when me and Lizzie were talking about this for a while before Piglet's release came out, we were like, well, if they're doing 6 characters but calling it a monthly series, maybe it's like bi-monthly. So Pooh Bear came out in January. We weren't expecting Piglet to come out until like March, because we were like, then it lasts throughout the year. But no, Piglet came out in February, so it's a monthly collection but only for half the year. I don't know. Anyway, back in January, we went through a bit of an emotional roller coaster with that release. The items were on the website before 8 AM, but they didn't go live until 8, which meant you had time to kind of look at the pricings, get a map in mind. When they released the concept art for this series, I had my heart set on collecting all the plush of it. It's all the characters with like florals, flower crowns, all of that cute stuff, straight up my street. So I was like, absolutely, I'm collecting the plush, because I was kind of thinking they'd be like around standard plush price, like £20, £25 maximum. That's what I had in my mind, and I was like, okay, I can set that kind of money aside for a monthly collection, especially for the 100th anniversary. But then when, obviously as I said, the listings were live before 8 AM and you could see the prices, the plush for Pooh Bear was £50. Which obviously at that point we didn't know about the pricings for the plush for the rest of the year, but I was like, if we're starting off on £50, that is ridiculous. But they were also doing a pin for every month. So I switched my game plan from wanting to collect the plush to collecting the pins, because as you know, the whole point of this video, I'm a big pin collector. But the pins sold out absolutely instantaneously at 8 AM. I didn't even get a chance to even look at it. But I'd fell in love with this collection so much, I just couldn't let it go. So I did get the Pooh Bear for £50. I explained it all in that unboxing, but I'll explain it again. I had some money from Christmas and I'd made a Vinted sale. So with all of the money that I had like stashed up, I only had to spend like £3 on it out of my own money, if that made sense. So I was able to justify the £50 that way, but I knew I couldn't do it every month. When it came to Piglet in February, I can't remember off the top of my head how much Piglet was, but I think, for some reason I've got £45 in my head. Was it 45? It wasn't 50, it was definitely less, and which we said he had to be less because he is a lot smaller. Like, it just wouldn't have made sense for Piglet to have been £50 the same as Pooh Bear because the size difference is crazy. Even though Piglet was cheaper, it still was just a lot of money for me, and I just couldn't justify that much. After I spent that on Pooh Bear, I just knew I couldn't continue doing that every month. But then, as I said, the Disney store gave us no prior warning to this. Me and Lizzie were aware of it because we both check every day. I do feel bad for collectors that don't check every day, that wait for Disney to do announcements, because there was no announcements. You just had to be checking to get lucky because it did still sell out quite quickly. But because they gave no prior warning, resellers weren't able to set up their bots very quickly because it was a much less stressful release. Spoiler alert, I managed to get the pin. I think that was the only reason I was able to get the pin, because they gave no prior warning. You had to be on the website at that time to know about it. So although Disney limits it to 2 per customer on most pin releases, it is pretty obvious that why pin releases are so hard for us actual collectors is that resellers are somehow setting up these bots to automatically buy them as soon as it drops for whatever limit they are allowed. So if you're allowed 2 per customer, these bots are buying 2 per account. Sometimes they don't even actually have the item yet in their hands. They'll use the website, the picture from their website, and you'll see it on eBay and Vinted for crazy amounts. So although I know what Disney did wasn't easiest for all collectors because not everyone was checking every morning, some people were waiting for an announcement, I do feel like this did work out better because resellers wouldn't have had a chance. Like, I know nothing about bots and robots and all of that, but they'd have had to wake up at 6 AM every morning to see if the release has come out yet, and then they'd have to set up their bots and all of that to get ready for the 8 AM release. That sounds like a lot of work for a reseller. I don't know why Disney can't put something in place at checkout, one of those I'm not a robot checks, because the whole reselling thing, and it just isn't fun, it isn't fair. Disney needs to, like, they've got the limitation in place, yes, I get that, but that really doesn't stop people from doing it. Even if it was 1 per person, they'd still do it. That was a whole long ramble, but anyway, I'm saying because they did a surprise release and I was on the website, I was able to get the pin. So hopefully going forward, I kind of do want them to keep doing these surprise drops, because then resellers do not have a chance. Don't get me wrong, there was still a load on Vinted for silly prices, but everyone that I knew was able to get what they wanted. Yes, it was a bit of a surprise with no prior warning, but now we've had 2 releases, we can like map out in our heads when they were each month. They are roughly halfway through the month, so with that going forward, hopefully I can collect the pin of each month. If I can't get the pin, I might just miss out on it because, as I said, the plush is so much. We've rambled about this enough. Let me just show you the pin because I'm so happy I was able to get it. So to make a bit of a change in this video, this is a gold enamel pin. All of the other ones we've been doing are silver enamel. We have got Piglet here holding a big bouquet of pink roses. There is some bumblebees on the roses as well. These are obviously limited edition. I can't remember how much they are limited to. I think I did see on a Vinted listing, because even though I'm against these resellers, I do always just have a nosy at how much they're ripping people off for. I think I did see someone say that these pins are like 1,100. I will double check that, but that's what I saw on a Vinted listing. Don't take my word for it, don't take their word for it. So this is obviously what the plush looks like as well. I'm quite surprised that the backing board isn't anything too special. You've obviously got the official Disney pin trading up there, limited edition down there. I was kind of hoping for something a bit more floral, a bit more pretty. Obviously this will be going on my pin board. I won't be keeping on the backing board. You just know I like pretty backing boards. But I'm just so happy I was able to get the pin. So now let's add these 2 onto the pin board. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed having a little bit of pin mail opening. If you enjoyed this video, please do pop the thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more from moi, do click subscribe down below, and while you're down there, don't forget to ding the notification bell, you might as well. You're already down there, and I'll see you guys real soon. Bye. Bye!